This is Equity One, Broadway's happy hour.
Pour yourself a drink and join us as we chat about life, theater, and everything in between.
I'm Elliot Maddox.
And I'm Caleb Dickey. Join us for your Equity One.
Hello!
Hi, cheers!
Clink! Welcome to Broadway Podcast Network Happy Hour. Woo-hoo. I am Elliot.
I'm Caleb.
And we're the hosts of Equity One, Broadway's Happy Hour. We sit here on Broadway Podcast Network Happy Hour. Oh.
The currents are opening. Slow current. It's a slow current.
On Broadway Podcast Network Happy Hour, we sit down and chat with some of your favorite Broadway Podcast Network hosts. And today we are so excited to have not only two of our favorite hosts, but a very special guest. We have from Mama's Talkin' Loud, Cara Cooper, Jessica Rush, and our very special guest, Robyn Hurder. Yes!
Lego.
Hi, divas.
Oh my God.
How's it going? Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And a very happy early Mother's Day to all of you.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you for our Mother's Day edition. Well thought out, planned.
Very planned.
We got the exclusive Mother's Day happy hour here. How is everyone doing?
Better now that I have a drink in my hand.
Yes. Everything's great. Everything's so great.
It's amazing. I was completely ready to sit down and do this with you guys. I didn't just run in here in the last moment. Wearing pajama bottoms. I have pajama bottoms.
Yeah.
I have mesh and a see-through bra.
I am so impressed, Robyn.
Always doing something dumb in my basement and making my kid do it with me and then paying him with M&Ms. Not kidding.
We're always doing something stupid in our basements. I'm also in a basement. I had a change of location as of yesterday. Yesterday, I drove from Kentucky to Connecticut in the rain for 13 hours. It was really exhausting. But I'm happy to be here and a little change of scenery and a glass of wine. Is it snowing
in Connecticut?
It did start snowing an hour ago.
Oh,
guys, that is so
wild.
That is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
You know what other mother has been having a drink? Mother Nature, okay? And she said,
bitches, I told y'all to stay inside. You need to stay inside. I'm not done yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, what is everyone imbibing on tonight? What's everyone drinking?
Oh, I've gone around the world. I've had I've done a couple Bud Light seltzers.
Okay.
I've had a margarita. And then I just decided to switch to the glass of wine because it was part of my act down in my basement that I'm filming for.
Yeah.
You're in character.
That is a mixed drink.
And thinking I can drink whatever I want and I'm going to be fine tomorrow. I'm not. It's Mother's Day, so who cares?
What do you need to do tomorrow?
Yeah. It's your day. You can be whatever you want.
I'm going to put on a gown. I'm going to put on a gown.
I can't believe you're going to put on a gown either.
I'm going to put on a gown because it's the only one that will fit me. There's one gown that will fit me right now.
Gowns.
What are you drinking, Jess?
I am drinking. It's only 1 p.m. here in California, so because I'm in La Jolla, so I'm starting easy. But I found these, you guys. Do y'all know this Ashland hard seltzer? It's organic.
Cool.
Organic, no sugar, gluten free. This is Blackberry Lemonade. I also enjoy the pineapple. It's made with alkaline water.
Oh, so you're fancy about it.
You are so bougie now that you're out on the other side. Boosh.
This was at Target, y'all. It's not. I mean, it ain't that bougie.
Wow.
Cara, what about you?
I've got tequila and lime seltzer.
Yes.
Divine.
Work.
Caleb coming in with a beer.
I do. Belgian white ale. And this one is from Aldi. Do you guys know Aldi's?
Yes.
I've never had their beer, and it's a Blue Moon knockoff, and it's not too bad.
Is that like Trader Jose?
I think so.
Their Corona.
Yeah.
Like a Trader Jose, I love.
Trader Joe's is actually owned by Aldi.
Smart. Okay, there it is.
It's
These
like
are
the
the things that
European
we know.
version of Trader Joe's, but there are some here in the States too.
Deals.
Yeah.
Elliot, what are you drinking?
Yeah.
I'm drinking
Something white.
white wine.
Quite.
White wine. A Sauvignon Blanc.
Do you know, I actually just taught that to my son because we're learning about silent letters in words.
Yeah.
So I was like, you just say white. You don't say white. White.
White. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're being fancy and bougie and you say white.
White wine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I had like a stressful hour today. The rest of the day is gonna be great, but in transit, we were in Kentucky. COVID tests are readily available there. So we decided to get tested before we traveled to make sure we were like okay before we kind of went across several states. And my boyfriend got his test results negative like at like noon today. And I was like, refresh, nothing. So I had a full hour of like, I have COVID-19. I'm going to infect your entire family. I'm going to just be a leper down in the basement for a month. But then I got it before lunch. So it was great. I didn't get COVID. I got my results that are negative before lunch.
I got COVID before lunch.
It was quick. So I had a bit of a stressful afternoon, but this wine was necessary and feeling a little relief.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Wine necessary every
I was just gonna say the drinks are necessary every day.
Every day. I have been drinking nonstop in this, and I'm just letting myself not feel any kind of way about it. Except great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I do know. I know really well.
It's the only way.
Getting earlier and earlier. I'm not kidding. Like
no.
11:35.
You're like, it's past 10.
Why
not? My eyes are open. I might as well.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing. I don't really have to teach school today at all.
I love the weekends now because I don't have to teach school. I live for the weekends.
That's why I started
when I used to hate the weekends.
I know.
Like if I wasn't doing a show, because I'd be stuck at home with my kids all weekend and my husband's in a show. So if I wasn't working, I'd be like, oh my God, I have my kids 24 hours a day on the weekend. And now I'm like, the weekend.
Right.
How has the school situation been? Like what's been the journey there?
I'm gonna let these ladies go first because
Well, we've talked about it. I mean, we had this discussion on the episode we had with Robyn a couple weeks ago. It's just so much. I mean, Cara has a whole nother. Mine's probably the minimum of all of it. I feel like I have like an hour and a half with Elliot every day, and she doesn't tend to fight me too often. I sort of say, these are the things we have to do. What do you want to start with? Sometimes she'll say, that's so many things. Well, it's only an hour and a half. It's not that much time, You can do this. Yeah, you can do this. But I actually really like the school part and probably that's because she doesn't fight me too much. I shouldn't let her hear me say that. But it gives structure to our day. And I really like that because otherwise I hate the weekends now. That's the thing. It's like, I hate the weekends now because there's no structure and we're the only people she has to interact with. And it's like, play Lego, play this, play pretend. Like you guys today, she's made posters. We're having a science fair apparently. And she has made them and put them up on the walls. And she's like, when are we making our science fair booths? And I'm like,
we're not.
I'm not making a science fair. We're not.
Do the volcano.
Actually,
Do the volcano, and they'll be happy.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Anyway,
we love a science fair.
It is so. I mean, it's super intense. I have like a little bit of a different situation because my daughter is autistic, so her schooling is like, it's very structured, it's very rigid, and she also has like physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, all through the computer, which means like I'm doing the therapy while the teacher's like saying, do this, do that, do this, do that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's like a thing going around YouTube right now. It's like thanking the teachers, and it's all the Zooms that you have to meet up with your kids. And it's like, it's fucking mind boggling. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, get me away from the computer. I don't want to see you anymore, my child, and I don't want to do any more school, which is not a good way to feel. And then I have a 3-year-old who's like, let's color. My husband tries to get him like write a letter, and he's like, I don't want to do school today. Let's pretend. And let him pretend. I mean, he's 3. It's fine.
Yeah. It's relatable content to not
to
just want to pretend and not do school.
Exactly.
For sure.
My kid's just a dick. He is so smart, and he's like, no, how about no? And then he like then all of a sudden, all of his bones seem to dissolve from his body and all across the table on the board. He's like, I'm just so tired. It's just so easy. It's boring. And I'm like,
one of those high drama.
I was
Who
going to
did
say
he learn that from?
no, don't know. So extra. I have no idea.
Apples don't fall far, Robyn.
No, it's just, I'm so not into it. I'm just so not into it. I think I said it with, like in a lot, I say to everybody, like these kindergarten teachers and elementary school teachers, all teachers, they go to college for this. We don't. We go to college to kick and belt.
Yeah.
Read lines and memorize them. And we don't know about the psychology of how a child emotionally
Develops.
the maturity. I'm talking to him like a 38-year-old, and I'm like, he's not, talking about persuasive writing. And I'm like, Hudson, it's a goddamn opinion. What's your opinion? Tell me why you want to have ice cream. Write it. It's not that hard. Tell me why you want the ice cream. He's like, it's like they have blocks and I don't understand it. I'm like, okay, A, it's good. B, it has calcium. It's good for your bones. 3, it's, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm now like ready for the summer, but then what?
What is summer?
He was supposed to go to this like fancy schmance soccer camp at World Class, which is like the premier soccer, because he's really good at soccer. Mm-hmm. And now that's not happening. And I'm like, and the battle between, because Clyde, my husband, he's a very good soccer player. He's also, he does the Broadway dance and song.
Yes.
But he's so good at soccer and he has so much knowledge, and he's trying the father son. It's literally like stage mom and son, but
hilarious
and dad. It's hilarious. I'm like, babe, can you calm the fuck down? Like, just calm. He's like,
oh my God.
This. No, I'm just like, wow.
Field dad.
Mm-hmm. Field dad. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Clyde does a lot of things, because I always see y'all like doing yard work, and he writes music. He's very much a Renaissance man.
Really is. I will say with this whole thing, it's not that obviously we appreciate our husbands and we love them so much, but when we get into a show schedule, we're constantly like back and forth. I go to the city, so much of my time is taken up by my commute because I live far out. And then actually it's fucking snowing again. Sorry. When it's snowing again, I'm so mad. God, stay tomorrow. Give me a gift. But I don't know. It's just this time at home with him has made me I always appreciated him, but I'm looking at him working out on that yard. He ripped out so much of these ugly plants and rocks, and he has been out there 8 hours a day, all day long. Like, he splits wood, he cuts down fucking trees, and then he like works with my son downstairs on soccer drills for an hour. I'm like, you are quite literally the most amazing person, and we've been together for 16 years, and I'm kind of, you kind of like re-fall in love with them in a different way, which is that this could have not happened, or me really realizing it and seeing it if I was still, doing 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So silver linings,
Yeah, totally. I think it's definitely like
Weinstein.
Keep going.
Well, what when you're not schooling and juggling all these things, what's entertaining you right now? Are you binge watching anything? What's been keeping you entertained through this time?
Sorry, Elliot just came into the room and she's like dancing over here on the side.
Love the name. Love the name, by the way.
Yeah. I have to say, I wanted it to be 2 T's, but Eric only wanted 1, so I let him win. But it's fine. So
well,
I like
it's okay.
Elliot.
Deep down, you know that you're correct.
I love
Exactly.
I love a boy name for a girl.
Yeah, gender is so over. Like, just pick a nice name.
Yeah.
Almost every name on our list was a gender neutral sort of name.
That was the same thing. Same thing with us. It was like, if it's a girl, it's Hudson.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be hot if it was a girl?
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine having a girl?
No.
Thank God. Someone came down and was like,
no, but we've been we unorthodox. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
I loved it.
So
So good.
I need to watch that since
So good.
I live next to like the huge
Yes, where you live up there. Yes.
I live
of
on mine.
course.
I jog by it every day.
By
It is
what?
no joke.
Oh,
like a
it's
community?
like
Hasidic community, right?
big Hasidic Jew community, right?
Jew community. It's called Curious Joel, but because I'm a mother and we love Curious George, so we go Curious Joel. I'm waiting. Clyde and I are going to write a parody song about it, but it's intense. It's
You need to watch
should
it.
watch this.
You
It
need
is
to.
unreal.
start tonight.
I know. So good. And then we just watched Fleabag. We're a little behind. I know.
I
we
love
read-
it.
Also amazing.
We just watched Fleabag.
Hot priest, you guys.
I wasn't so into
Hot priest.
the first season, but then the second season, I was all in. Like, it took me a minute, but then Hot Priest was like, I'm in.
It's
Oh my
perfect.
So
that
good.
last scene at the bus stop. It's just
Oh, so good.
anyway. That's
And
what
then
More.
That actor is. Did you guys watch Modern Love?
yes, he was.
He was
half of the gay
character.
couple on that.
Modern Love's really good
Okay.
because it's also like little vignettes. Like, you can watch one, and I mean, it's not really binging because you can watch one and walk away because they're self-contained stories.
Mhm.
But the actors are great. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. We watched the rest of Homeland. Have you guys watched that?
Mm-mm.
Not
No.
great.
How many
to
seasons?
watch. Now I think it was just season 8, and it's not like a great thing to watch during a global pandemic because it's so stress-inducing. You're like,
Yeah.
why am I doing this to myself right before I go to bed? Like,
Yeah.
setting ourselves up for nightmares and failure and not sleeping.
Yeah.
I fully agree. That's how I couldn't get through even 4 episodes of Ozark.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
started-
it's intense.
I
Yeah.
started hyperventilating and chugging my soda, and I was like, I can't actually. Why am I doing this? I'm like, I need to watch good things that make me feel good, like this anxiety, this man. I can't. Also, it's like a wannabe of Breaking
of Handmaids.
Yes.
Ozark.
Breaking. I'm like literally like I'm like this is like they're trying to be Breaking Bad, even though like what's his face, Jason Bateman really can't do any wrong.
He
No.
really can.
Everybody else, I'm like, calm down. We get it. I can see that you're reading the sides. I can see. Like Laura Linney. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to get bashed for this, but I'm like, Laura Linney, I can see you reading. I can see it on the page. You know what I mean? Anyway, we stopped that, and we got Disney Plus. Well, actually, we got April.
1, 3, 2, 1.
We got Apple TV.
Yes.
Oh, welcome.
Yes.
Right now, we got Apple TV, and we have YouTube TV, and we got Disney Plus. Like, we really like opened the gates of heaven to television,
Mhm.
and we've actually been binge watching like Disney Plus, like showing Hudson all the classics, which have
Fun.
been really like heartwarming.
Also,
Like,
We've been doing the same
Imagineering
thing,
story.
Robyn.
Sorry.
The Imagineering story
Oh,
on
it's so
Disney
good.
Plus, where they talk about
What is
different
it?
rides. It's the Imagineers talk about individual rides or how they came
God.
to design
Yeah.
it. and what they-
Mm.
What is it called again?
The Imagineering story, right, Caleb? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just search Imagineering and it'll pop up.
So, like, how they engineer and come up with the rides? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, and the stories.
Pirates of the Caribbean and the building the park. It's
Yeah.
cool.
See, and then Hudson's gonna be like, I want to go to Disney, and I'll be like, boo, we can't.
You can't go anywhere.
Oh,
Not
it's
yet.
closed.
Yeah.
We have a trip planned in September, and I mean, It's not.
That could
Our
happen.
kids
It
don't know.
could happen, Cara. Disney,
think
I guarantee you, if anyone is trying to figure out how to get people back, it is Disney.
Disney.
How are we going to pay for it since nobody has
Oh,
a job?
Disney Shanghai or Disney Asia, something opened up and there's no stage shows, but they're letting people in.
Like
So
Disney
that-
Tokyo?
How?
Sorry, what?
Like
I
Disney
don't-
Tokyo? Or
Yeah, somewhere in Asia
Disney
they opened some
Shanghai,
parks.
I think is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of where we all are right now. Is like, ooh, like who knows what things are going to be like. I like to be of the mind frame that like things got bad so fast,
Yeah.
so maybe they could get better
So fast.
just
So
as
fast.
fast.
They could.
But-
I mean, if something happens scientifically, I mean, who
Yeah.
knows what's around the corner every day?
Right.
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen there's like a page of a book that's going around that's highlighted about
Yeah.
a global pandemic hitting in 2000 or
Sylvia,
2020?
what's her name?
Yes.
Sylvia Brown.
Yeah, but then it like magically disappears. And somewhere in my heart, I really just hope that that's right. And it just magically disappears. It says
Yeah.
it comes
That's
back in 10 years, but maybe we'd be more
Uh-huh.
That's what
prepared
Trump
for
thinks is gonna
that.
happen. So.
I know.
Have any of you watched the plandemic thing that's going around, like the
No, I didn't
conspiracy
watch
theory
it.
video?
Nope.
I'm like,
No.
What is
Someone
this,
says
like,
it's
doomsday?
propaganda.
yeah, it's like a conspiracy documentary. I use that term very loosely. If you look at the people that are involved in it, very like about like how everything is planned and everything. Like it's like a former employee of Fauci's that's like disgruntled is the charge of it. It's like there's so much wrong with it, but people keep sharing it. Like that's the thing too. Is like
Oh, you guys, y'all, my relatives in Texas have posted it on their Facebook as fact,
No.
saying,
Nope.
"This is what we're trying to tell you." That's a whole. I mean, yes, people believe it is true, and they are buying into it. And the rest of us, those of us, particularly those of us who've been hit personally within our community. I mean, so many of us have been hit.
yeah.
And what we've seen happen, it's like apparently that's not real. It's just all, it's all, and they believe that. I mean, that's what's crazy. It's like that's what we're up against, So it's I haven't watched it.
I
don't
won't watch
wanna
it.
add to
I don't
that.
wanna-
I don't want to add to it.
Yeah, I don't want to give it any. I don't want to give it a view.
Nope.
I don't want to give it any energy. So
Yeah.
No.
If you're gonna watch that, you can just go to iTunes and give a 5-star rating and review to Equity One and Mama's Talking Loud. Okay.
Hey!
If you're gonna watch some bullshit, then you just go ahead and give us a review. Okay.
Exactly.
You just go ahead and do that.
yeah, exactly.
Insane.
I watched the classic last night, Clueless. It was on TV, so I had to pull it back.
I mean,
So good.
and that's
Oh.
another thing. I feel like a lot of people are doing that. I find myself doing that, is that you're going back and you're rewatching like your comfort movies. Like
Mhm.
I just want to watch Clue. I want to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I want to watch
Yes.
My Mom, the Babysitter Said. Like I want to watch all of the things that make me feel like I'm a kid again, and none of this is happening.
And make you feel safe because you're a kid, right? Like you,
Yeah.
you remember just feeling so safe.
Not
when you're a kid.
adulting.
Yeah.
Not adulting.
Boy,
Even the weird ones like the Labyrinth and like the Labyrinth story, we were like, what the
I
fuck
love
is this?
Yeah.
God, I love Labyrinth.
I do too.
I think we might just watch that tonight. Hudson.
Eric loves it. My husband loves that movie.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but he loves it.
I love it.
Someone posted an Instagram of just or like a collage photo of like David Bowie just like in all these different outfits today, and there was one of him in like a USA like flag Speedo, and I was like,
Hey.
Hey.
I was like, David Bowie, what is happening? We're
Okay.
All right.
I have not watched anything new this week. Like I've been just binging the same fucking YouTube videos, the same. But I will say like our new kind of like quarantine ritual is watching The Price is Right and Jeopardy after the news.
Work.
I'm kind of obsessed. Like I'm like, is this who I am now? Like, am I gonna tape Jeopardy while I'm at the show whenever work comes back? Like,
It's been on the air for like 75.
I love that. Like when we're unemployed and at home, Jeopardy is one of the best gifts.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
you get to watch Jeopardy. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the person who would bet
Oh my God.
$1? Are you ever that person who's like $1?
No.
You gotta do it.
No.
I hate them.
No.
All of it.
I mean, maybe it's probably also strategy, but
It's
Yeah.
strategy, but as much as possible.
Yeah.
I feel that way. Like when I watch like Deal or No Deal,
Mm.
I'm like, go for the deal. Like, don't be safe. It's a game show.
Yeah.
Like you
You
came
win
there
with
with
nothing.
nothing. Right.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Exactly.
What do you have to lose?
Jinx, buy
Right.
me a Coke.
Cheers. Once I see
Here.
you, I'll buy you a glass of
Yeah.
wine. Yeah,
No, I
I'm
love
just
The
like,
Price is Right. My mama and papa used to watch that, y'all, like religiously. And I could do all the Broadway shows there are. I could be on a TV show. I could do all these things. And my mama would still say to me, well, when are you going to be on The Price is Right? Like that was
You
the
made
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love the price. It is snow squalling outside, guys. It's a blizzard. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on.
oh my God, white out.
Hold on. I have to actually show you what's happening outside. Can you see?
Oh my
it?
God.
no. Go away.
May
Elsa.
9th, people.
It's May.
Oh,
It is
9th.
a snow squall.
Y'all, I remember how in February it was like 70 degrees a few days. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I can't. I'm
Yes.
like, I can't. It's a goddamn blizzard.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm hoping comes from all this mess is that there is at least some like, you know, some repairing of the environment happening right now, because there ain't no factories, there ain't no driving, you know, like hopefully there's at least a little bit of silver lining with all that.
Yeah, like an awareness of how we are affecting the planet, a real awareness, you know.
Real, actual.
You know what I mean? It's like, have y'all seen that photo of China?
Yep.
The side by side of the pollution.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Shocking.
And how they are
Wild.
seeing like the Himalayas for the first time in 40 years in New Delhi.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. That's wild. And it happens so fast.
It did.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened really fast. So hopefully that this is just a little reset for everyone.
That's what I've talked about with Cara. It's like, I feel like it's a hard reset. Like it was
For all of
needed.
us.
And it's for everyone. Like we're all
Yeah.
sort of the earth is resetting. We're simplifying. I just have to tell y'all, I have a 5-year-old girl right now sidling up to me with Legos in her hands because
Bring her on. Let's see
Come
her.
on.
She's
Like,
really good that she's not. She knows better. Like she's not getting in the camera.
she's not in the frame.
Yeah.
My husband is like, "Hey, what you doing? Hi."
Is
love me more than her.
You guys,
Hello.
Look, I made sisters.
they're so cute. We'll play when we're done, okay?
Is this like
That's what girls are like.
I have a
Oh,
Lego
sweet.
question.
Yes.
Like, is it a set? Is it like freeform, or like what are we dealing with here
There
on the
are
Lego front?
Lego friends.
Oh, that's new.
There's Elliot, get your bus. We'll show them the bus. There are Lego friends that are these 5 girls who like that's all brightly colored stuff. It's over there, babe. And not only do we have the Lego friends, which is what Elliot is really into. Like she built this bus. Hold on, wait.
Gorgeous.
Gorge.
That
Wow.
slide.
As you guys, if you open the doors
It's got a kitchen.
and a pool, you guys.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
that's amazing.
fabulous!
Oh,
But the thing is, okay, put it down. But the thing is not only did she want to do it, but let me see if I can show you what my husband.
Oh dang, what's that one? Is
It's
it
a village.
It's a pirate ship
Work.
Damn, girl.
and a ghost lighthouse or something. Eric has got.
Yeah.
We're now Lego people. We're Lego people.
I
We
love
never
that.
were before.
Legos are the most therapeutic. Like it's like therapy. It's like it's meditation. You
Yeah, just following the directions, putting them together, doing the things. Yeah. So this is that's what we're doing.
I love it. I used to love Legos. I was a big fan of like there was like a spaceship series, so I would do all the
Yes.
like the spaceships and like the Mars series. That was a big one for me.
It was Harry Potter Legos. Those were big.
Well, I can't wait. She doesn't know Harry Potter, so once we start reading the books, which I think will be soon, and then once I introduce her to that, then we're going to do Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Movies.
Well, since we were talking about, you know, what I was into as a kid personally, the Legos, we start out every interview at Equity One by asking our guests what first got them interested in the arts when they were younger, like what first kind of like sparked that interest. So why don't we start with Cara, and we'll go down.
So let's see. My mother always tells me this quote that friends of ours took me for the day to like the zoo with their son. And he brought me home and he said, she's the perfect grandchild because you can give her back at the end of the day. Because apparently I sang the entire score to George M. Cohan on the way there.
Yes, references. Come on.
George M. Why? Yankee Doodle Dandy, apparently.
Love. Teach the children correctly.
That's right. And didn't stop talking. And I am now on the receiving end of that with my son, who does not stop talking all day, who is constantly talking. So I actually did commercials when I was super, super young, like before I was walking, just because my parents were like, I don't know, they thought I should. So it was kind of, the bug was in me from the get-go, and I was always performing, just always performing. And I remember like, going through doing all the plays in school. I was always dancing in dance class. I mean, I can't even remember how many hours a week, but six days a week for sure. I know, Robyn, you were probably the same. Always dancing.
I was.
Doing all the shows, doing all the plays at school. And it was coming time to make a decision to go to college. And I was either going to be a doctor or an actress.
Smart, you guys.
And I don't know if I chose wisely, but here we are. So yeah, I mean, it was always in me. It's what I've always wanted to do. I can't remember a time not wanting to be on Broadway, like truthfully. And like film, TV, all that's great, but all I ever wanted to do was be on Broadway. And we were a big theater going family. I mean, we saw I saw La Cage aux Folles when I was 3. So like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was just part of my upbringing. So I saw it in real life. And I remember leaving Guys and Dolls, the revival of Guys and Dolls with Faith Prince.
The one I was in, a good one.
Yes.
Not the one you were in. And weeping in the car, weeping. And my parents were like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, that is what I want to do when So just, yeah. And so it's just always, I don't know. I can't remember a time not wanting to do it.
A few quick follow-ups. Tell us more about that commercial work. I want to know like what
Gerber baby.
What were the commercials? Like what were we looking at here?
I mean, HBO, Jif peanut butter. I mean,
She was big time.
You can find a couple of them on the interwebs, not by searching for my name, but by knowing the year that they all came out, which I'm not telling you. Yeah. Oh, Pepsi. I was in this big Pepsi commercial with Keisha Knight Pullman, who played Rudy on the Cosby Show. We were like, I mean, it's horrible. It was the 80s, but I was the token white girl and she was the token black girl who were being friends. I mean, it was like such a big deal back then, which is horrible. But it was a sign of the times. So we spent 2 days shooting that film and shooting that commercial. The tequila's getting to me, everybody. And I just remember being like best friends with Rudy for 2 days. Yes. Is it a Boda box?
Get the box.
That is out of the 80s dreams right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was the best of times. I loved it. And I loved shooting them. And then I was in 1st or 2nd grade and my mom picked me up to go to an audition. She picked me up from field day at school. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to leave field day. And she goes, well, we have to go to this audition because we told your manager you would be there and we never have to go to another one again. And we didn't until I re-entered the business.
Wow.
Work.
Yeah. So
I love that. And then you said you were seeing shows super young, like La Cage at 3, which is like fierce. What was like a cast recording that like rocked your world? Like what was the one when you were younger?
Like, I mean, if we're talking like high school, I was obsessed with Tommy, like obsessed with Tommy. What recording wasn't on loop? Truthfully, when I was, I really liked Starlight Express when I was. And my childhood friend who actually lives in the town that I live in right now, we always used to act it out. Like truthfully, like we always wanted to be Dinah. One of us always wanted to be Dinah. We had to fight over it. But yeah,
my dream was to be in Starlight Express. All I ever wanted to do. And Robyn, you've lived it.
You've lived it. And now, like, as a professional, I'm like, oh my God, nightmares. That is
Yeah, no.
No, I fucking hated it. But I mean, it gave me my equity card and it gave me one of my best friends, Katie O'Toole.
Katie
who
O'Toole.
fellow, Jersey Boys girl. So you guys must have been in heaven asking her all these questions because she was the dynamo.
Just seeing her in those costumes, I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
Well, we got those Vegas costumes from like '94, whenever Starlight Express was. So we had I call them a double thong, where you got a thong in the front, a thong in the back. This was Katie O'Toole, who played Dinah on the national tour. She looked pretty fierce, and she was the most perfect Dinah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Starlight Express.
Starlight Express.
That hit.
Jesus, yeah, the hit.
That mega hit.
It's still running in Germany,
right?
right?
About them bringing it back. He's like, what if they revive Starlight Express? My brother loves it too. I mean, we both love it, but
He will never revive that show.
I know. Did you
Like,
imagine
it will
that
never
for reports? Oh my God.
It's Cats on Wheels.
That's unreal.
Who knows?
Quote.
Maybe it'll be the first thing to come back. You can be socially distant in a roller rink. You set it immersive.
That's
You
true.
just like,
Yeah.
who knows?
Guys, we're coming up with it right now. I mean, my 3-year-old who's obsessed with trains, I feel like he would be all about it. Like, I feel like he would be thinking it's incredible. He loves, like, any sort of animated automobile. That's all he watches on TV. So why wouldn't he like people?
There it is.
Trains?
Yeah.
Just letting everyone know if people think like, oh my God, I want to be in Starlight Express. I'll let you know what goes into
Right.
just
And
get
what your body, what
from an audience for Starlight Express.
Oh God.
Hours of training, not even fucking choreography or music. It's training to be a roller skater.
Nope.
Not me.
Let's moving on.
Too much. I did a summer stock production of Xanadu, and I was not one of the skaters. So I was cut from the skating. But yeah, that's definitely a skill. I'm more of a rollerblader in my day. Anyway,
No wheels for me.
Neither.
Jessica, what? Tell us about young you and what first piqued your attention.
I will try to keep it short because it's long. No, my parents met in the theater department in college. Like, they knew of each other, and they went to neighboring competing high schools, and they were both in the theater department. So
Love
they
that.
knew of each other, and then they went to the same college. And my dad was a high school drama teacher he retired a couple years ago to move up to New York, and for 37 years, I think. And my mom is a school teacher too, but my father, like, I grew up doing community theater. Like, when my mother did Godspell when she was 7 months pregnant with me, singing "Turn Back, Oh Man."
Love it.
Her costume, and it tells you when I was born, when it was popular. And then, like, when I was 10 weeks old, I played Model and Zeidel's baby in Fiddler on the Roof. My father was Model.
Oh.
So, like, I literally there's no other. My dad and I used to sing Miss Saigon in the car. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is what we did. This is who we are. And my brother, God love him, he tried other things. Like, I took dance class, and I did all the stuff to make me a triple threat. Now I'm a singer who moves really well. And he tried to do other things, but ultimately he created a theater school in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Like, we're all
amazing.
That's what we do. And when my father went on a tour one year, my mom took over his theater department because she's a special ed teacher.
Wow.
So it's just like, it's who we are. I mean, there were always albums, show tunes playing in our house. And like, the first time I went to New York was 91, and I was 10. And we saw Death and the Maiden with Glenn Close and Richard Dreyfuss and Gene Hackman. Like, so that it was like that. Like, that's, my parents thought nothing of taking 10-year-old me. I was
right.
a kid, and I'm a theater kid, but you better believe people not in the theater were looking at them like, what are they doing? It's a little intense, that show. But yeah, that's all we ever did. My whole childhood, all my memories are just, going from school to my dad's high school to be with him while his students rehearsed their plays. And then when they were done at like 6, we would get in the car and drive to our rehearsal for whatever community theater show we were doing. And some of my best memories, like the theater is so comfortable to me. Like, it is my home. It is my church. It's like, I remember laying on a mat, like a pallet in the back of the house in the dark, like listening to them rehearse, when I was a really small kid. And so it's such a safe space for me.
Love that.
Yeah, I miss it.
That's incredible.
I know we miss
Can't
it
wait for us to
too.
do that. Yeah.
I
So
know.
anyway, but that's my.
I
There
have
was never anything else.
So you grew up in like a theater family. They're all still theater people.
Yeah.
And now you have a family as a theater person. Like, do you see like any parallels, things that like you're like, oh, maybe is Elliot a theater person?
Is Elliot a theater person? She is. It goes and comes. She's definitely likes a spotlight. And she's becoming, I can see the confidence growing. She's also like super smart, you know what I mean? And she's into Legos, and she's very, she's a Virgo. So everything is super like organized, and there's a plan, and she's very type A with her things. And it's interesting. She's an artist, and she sings on pitch. So at least we have that.
Hey.
And she likes to come see us do it. But when it comes down to it, I think there's still like a nervousness about it,
Sure.
Like you never know. We never know what you're going to get. So that's why we don't, if she wants to go, she's auditioned for a couple things commercially, like when they call us and say, bring Elliot with you.
Yeah.
And she enjoys it. But also at the same time, like she might decide, I don't want to that day.
Right.
It's not an overwhelming, the amount of times they tried to get her to come in to be little Lulu at waitress. She was not having it because you know what? She said, what if I get tired, Mom?
Work. Yes, honey.
And I
Fair
said,
worry. I mean,
yeah, because she's heard us say
Yeah.
that, I'm sure. Like, I'm
Yeah.
tired. I don't want to go to work.
That's hilarious because that is a struggle.
Yeah.
She really nailed it. It's like,
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
tired.
that's
It's like
4.5.
too bad.
That's what she said. She was like, what if I get tired? So you don't want to go to work. I know. I mean,
I don't want to go to work.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's us. And okay, Eric's taking her to the other. Eric's like, oh, come on, girl. He's like, come on. But Eric's parents his mom sang with the Carpenters in college, and his father was an actor and a bass player.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
That's so
they had a
cool.
band called what was the Carpenter band? The Spectrum.
Yeah.
And his mom was the singer, and Karen played the drums. And Karen sang too. But she was in it with the Carpenters and back in college. And then when they decided to create the Carpenters, she started the sound arrangement with other people. And Eric's dad was the bass player for that. And that's where they met. And they played in
Amazing.
Vegas. Oh, Robyn, there's a whole
Love the Carpenters.
Yeah. She's on their White album. Like there's a White album.
Yes.
Yeah. Less
Yeah.
So
Anyway, so we both come from these like artists and actory families, so we have a very similar upbringing, which is
That's
sort of probably why we're so well matched.
It works. Yeah.
that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
my family were
Awesome.
not art people at all. Like they appreciated it, but definitely not like, my mom sings in the church choir, and that's about it. Like,
Oh no, my father will be like, I saw you're interviewing Tara Rubin. You're interviewing Tara Rubin for the podcast. Or like Stephanie J. Block. You know what I mean? Like my parents are still they're in our world, and they live in our apartment. They're in our world, but like they're still so enamored with it all, which is really lovely. It's nice to be
That's so
reminded
cool.
of that.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, that's us. I'm gonna get another drink while Robyn starts to tell us.
do it.
Oh, refill.
Yeah.
Yes, as I was walking down to get my
Your bow box.
Photo box.
That was the quality content though. And
As like the walk-in.
the
tried to be
steady,
very quiet in my
cam, it
Wow.
was really good.
You're welcome.
I know. I was watching you down in the dark, and I was like,
Where's she going?
I'm going downstairs to get the box that I had opened to film my Mother's Day thing. Guys, I'm a mess. Anyway,
No.
You're nailing it.
Oh, man, I love
I'm
you.
really nailing it.
We are.
At a time. Nope. Anyway, you want to know how I
I
got
want your story.
Yeah. Dish.
Yeah, tell me where this all began.
with my black teeth? Oh God. Well, at 6 I saw the show Cats. I'm not kidding. I saw Cats, and I saw the White Kitty, and I was done. I was literally like, I want to do that. And I was very similar to Hudson, where I was just like a fucking basket case. And my mom was like, she just put me in a dance school, like a dance class. And she was like, I feel like she has a lot of talent. she's just so unorganized. Can you just like fix her? And so I started dancing, and throughout that, my parents, like, if you talk about like a soundtrack that I blew up when I was 7 years old, was Les Miserables, specifically Lovely Ladies. Like, I am not shitting you whatsoever. I'm not. What that on was track 5. And I would get a chair. I would get a chair and I would do it for my parents.
Incredible.
Because I didn't know what it was. I was just like, lovely lady.
Yeah. It tracks. It's
spreading my legs, like, because that's what I saw at the Wang Theater in Boston. Because I'm from Maine, so we would always go to Boston to see these national tours that would come around. And so I really, that's a telltale sign of where I was headed. And so that's what I blew up. I blew up the Les Mis soundtrack and the Cat. If you put the Cat soundtrack on now, I could still say every word to you.
Every single word.
And that's hard.
Yeah, I could. But then I went to New York for the first time, New York City, for a dance competition. I competed for 2 years, and I realized this is a horrendous way to, I don't know, grow up in the dance world, even though my husband was like a professional champion competition dancer. But it wasn't my bag. I just was like, oh my God, everyone's just trying to be better than the other person. And that's not love. But I competed for 2 years. And the first year I was 11 years old, and I went it was 94. And I saw my first Broadway show, which was Damn Yankees, the revival with Victor Garber, BB Newirth.
Gorgeous.
I mean, Scott Wise, I could list the cast. I sat in third row, and I say this all the time, but I don't get tired of telling it because it literally makes me feel better every time I say it. But I'm sitting in the theater, and I'm 11 years old. I'm sitting next to my mom, and I see BB Newirth as Lola like rise out of the ground to this like da na 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 na, and that's like the Lola entrance, and there's smoke and haze, and she's in a platinum blonde wig and a pink bustier, pink thigh highs, pink stilettos, and she's like, "Chief, you rang," or whatever. And I literally turned to my mom and I said, I'm 11. And I said, "Mom, that's what I want to do when I grow up." And that was it. Yep. That was it. And I just like kept working and trained a lot in ballet because I knew that I wanted to be a certain kind of dancer, because dancing was my first thing, my first love. That's where I started. That's my comfort zone. And I really trained throughout my teenage years as a ballet dancer to try to get that technique. And then once I turned 16, 17, I started to dabble into singing because I realized like, oh, I need to sing. And and then I don't know.
Here you are.
Here I am. I tried college for a second, and then I drank my way through a year and a half, and I was like, I just want to go to New York and try it. And I did. I went to University of New Hampshire, and I drank my way through college.
Work.
I love my parents are going to be listening to this, and they're going to be like, good job, Rob. Good job. But I was too itchy, and I was like, I just want to go and make an ass out of myself. And just actually, I learned by doing, and I just wanted to go and wait. And back then it was Chelsea Studios, 151 West 26th Street. Those were my first my first real like audition, where I auditioned in the first place. And I don't know, I did it. I got some jobs, and I just kept going. But there's no one in my family that's nothing with the arts. My mom is just like, she has a deep appreciation for music, and her dad, funny enough, was a huge jazz fan, and my mom hated it because he would blare it all the time on Sundays. He would blare this big band jazz music, and she hated it so much. And then when I started to grow up being a teenager, and just even a few summers ago, she was in my house, and she goes, Robyn, you are playing not even just the same style, but the same exact recordings that my father would play.
Oh, wow.
It's very strange how genetics, they skip around, but I clearly have a huge part of my grandfather that I never even met. Passed away before I was born. But anyway, tangents, wine, Anyway, I'm literally like Broadway. And I think
I think that's so cool. I mean, you're just saying that that tie to your grandfather. You know, you all, you know, Karen, Jessica, you all, you know, have ties in your families, and even maybe not necessarily in your families born to, but like now building a family with artists, with creative people. It's something like special that I think that like creative people, and especially I think theater artists and people who do music and those kinds of things, we just like vibrate on a different frequency a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny.
We're all actor couples in here.
Are we all? Yeah, we are.
We are.
Yeah. It's funny. We have like a lot of therapists come in and out of our house to deal with our daughter, to give her therapy.
Mhm.
And like one of them that came in, like we have dance parties and play instruments all the time. And, you know, it's just part of who we are, right? It's just what we do. And she said, "You guys are so fun." And I was like, "Do other people not do this? Like, is this not
Right,
what
yeah.
other people do?" And she's like, "No." And you kind of forget, my husband's he's one of 6 kids that have all worked professionally as actors. And so like, it's just what we do, and you don't even second guess it. And it's super special to be raising kids specifically in like a theater family, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. I actually I posted something on Instagram yesterday that I'm just like, and I said, you know, I think about, because we have to submit all the work that we do, you know, they send assignments through Google Classroom or whatever, and you have to submit everything. And my son yesterday wrote like the most ridiculous shit about me as a mother. But I was like, it's accurate. He was like, my favorite fruit's meat. She loves nature and wine. And then he actually wrote Yas Queen, which I can't handle. And I submitted it. I said, "Happy Mother's Day." And I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, let me just like go on Instagram to see if I can find them, like to see if like his 2 kindergarten teachers are on there. And I couldn't find them, but I just wonder, because Instagram is such a thing. And I'm like,
Such a thing.
if they looked at me, like, look at me. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm a different mom, but I'm just like, where I come from, one of these things is not like, and I just think about it. I'm like, what if they looked at my Instagram and be like, what the fuck is this woman doing? But one thing that they do say as I fan around with my LaDuca boots still on, I don't know. I know that he is getting, especially like what we're giving to our kids when we bring them to the theater, and they're exposed to this world that it's a handful of kids, a small handful of kids who get to experience what we get to expose them to. You know what I mean? Like taking them to the theater and really, you know, embracing our culture and them being friends with all of our friends. It's such a different life, but I think a beautiful and really, it's special. It's so unique and special. And I think that these kids are, I don't know.
I completely agree. I mean, like, I grew up in a really like very small town in Kentucky, like away from it all. And, you know, when I started dancing, getting serious and meeting adult professionals that were like doing what I wanted to do, the connection was instant. And I was like, these are my people. And then to be able to see them, like, you know, I was a young gay kid, to like get to see like an adult gay person like being successful for me was like so huge. And that's a cool thing about theater, is that it's not just like gay, straight, you know, mom, dad, single, whatever, like throuple, whatever your deal is. You, as a kid, you can see all kinds of people working toward a common goal and having a community, and I think it's really, really special.
My son was 4 years old, and I literally one morning, because we were out of town doing Moulin Rouge, not to cut you off. We were doing Moulin Rouge out of town in Boston, and I brought him to the theater, and Jay Magis, who plays Baby Doll in our show, he's a drag queen, you know? And my son's never seen that. And he walked into the theater and he was scared because he knew, because Jay was talking to him like, Jay.
Right.
Like, who's the scary bald lady? She has a really deep voice. And literally I had to explain to him what a drag queen was.
Right.
And Clyde and I both explained to him what it was and why it's trying to explain to a 4-year-old why he has makeup on in a show, but then I told Jay, I'm like, can you come meet us so he can see you outside of the makeup, so he can see that it's an act, like it's a different character. And
right.
But you know, not every kid gets to have that. But I love that the next morning when Hudson woke up, he goes, so mommy, a drag queen is and you know, and now on his homework yesterday he wrote Yas Queen.
Yas Queen.
What Jay told him, he taught him that day, that he was like, that's the scary bald lady. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we were watching Eric's doing this thing for Kinky Boots. They're, you know, as all these shows seem to be doing like things right now. Yeah. Kinky Boots is doing a thing, and he was in the original company. And so we started showing Elliot clips from the Tonys and from them on The View and stuff. And she was loving it. And then she wanted to watch more. So that was good. But I said, I was like, those women, I said, those are men. I said, those are drag queens. And she goes, yeah, Mom, I know. You've told me before. And I was like,
obviously.
Oh, yeah, Mom.
I mean, I have told her before, but I didn't think she, you know what I mean? Like, it's come up before, but didn't think she retained it, but apparently she did. And she was like, yeah, Mom, I know. They dress up like girls. I was like, okay, cool. And just keeps going. You know what I mean? Just keeps.
Yeah.
As easy as that.
Yeah.
Well, and those are the good things about this. But I just want to, before we like move on to like fun things, like obviously like actor relationships, like they're great because you have someone that understands the lifestyle, very, you know, similar mindsets, but they also come with challenges. So have you all faced any challenges with being families in the arts and like the different world that is? Or if not, that's great.
Well, right now it means we're both unemployed.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no hope of it for any of us. I mean, it's like, it means we're all just waiting.
But the hours for being a parent are really difficult if you both are in a show at the same time. And especially like Robyn and I live far away from the city. So adding that commute time makes it doubly hard. Like the actual face-to-face time you have with your kids is shortened. So when my husband and I are both working, that's really hard. But in the same breath, like he gets it. It's not like he doesn't understand that if I'm going to rehearsal, I'm going to be gone for these hours. There's no discussion that needs to take place. We know what it is. Like we know how to do it. Yeah. So, I mean, there are pluses and minuses, but it's who we are. So, you know, I don't know. How do you feel about it, Robyn?
Well, for me, especially because we, as I fan kick back in, we live superbly far away. We live, you know, on a Friday or a Sunday afternoon, it could take an hour and 45 minutes to get into the city. I'm only 40 minutes to the bridge. It's just, you know, the artery into the island. So ideally we always, it's not that I like it because I know one of us is going to suffer because Clyde and I are both, we need an artistic outlet and we love performing. It's not just like, oh, I want to create and do shit. Like we want to be on stage when we perform. Like that's what we want to
hear the,
yeah, I do. Yeah. And he hasn't had that. And we have had many a conversation about trying to come back to the realization of like, this is our situation and we chose this lifestyle, which is we live really fucking far away. Mm-hmm. And if we both were on this schedule, a stranger, a babysitter would be raising our son.
Yeah.
And this is a vital time in his life, especially with soccer. Like he's actually really, really good. And I know shit about soccer. He's fucking amazing. It's like to a point where I'm like, we gonna go to Europe in 10 years? Cause we're gonna go to Europe in 10 years. He's that good. He's that good.
I love that.
And I'll take it. He does not do show business. But at all. But I have to reassure Clyde, I'm like, this is not how it should be. If you got some big job, the problem is we need to have a job that's big enough to support this house and our lifestyle. Like, I mean, it's so expensive living out here just with commute, all that stuff. But I'm like, we actually need to have one person working and one person not. So we can actually make money and we can actually have a parent raise him.
Yeah.
Because I understand babysitters and we do depend on them, but the way our lifestyle is, both of us doing 8 shows a week, like we do 15 to 18 hours of commute every week.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so much. Because we have to leave 2 to 2.5 hours to get to the city, no matter
Right.
what.
At grace time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no accidents, traffic. We just have to. And then that's also money out of our pockets for a sitter. And then it's someone that's not giving him what the best there is obviously his parents. But like, I don't know. It's a lot. There's always going to be sacrifices.
Like a trade-off. Yeah.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
It's about always a balance.
With anything too, I think that it's good for people to hear that are in the business, and good for people to hear that aren't in the business, that like we're dealing with the same trade-off sacrifices that everyone else is dealing with in their normal lives, just in a different kind of way.
Capacity.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's get to some silly stuff. Caleb, do you have a blonde girl moment this week?
I do. Can we hit that reel, Britt?
Maybe I'd better go home. Maybe I'd better go home.
Great. Isn't that gorgeous?
What's happening?
This is Caleb's segment where he gives his thoughts on a random topic.
Yeah, or
I
opinion.
love it. Give it to me.
So I'm in Ohio, and that's my slogan, #Blonde Girls from Ohio. So I noticed that like we are washing our hands every day, and I want to see if we can agree on this 2-parter. First part, bar soap is stupid. Why even have bar soap? Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Agreed.
I mean, actually like a Dove bar.
Yes. It's only good for like a bathtub when you're like spa and you're like, ooh, I got this really good smelling bar soap.
And it's got like little granules in it so you can get
exfoliate. Yes. So thank God. I was worried I would have to debate liquid soap versus bar soap.
Stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
It's 2020. Like, get liquid soap. Like,
Thank God. Okay, so this one might be a little bit harder to convince you all. The best scent is eucalyptus. There it is.
Of soap?
Of soap. Eucalyptus.
I want a combo. I want a combo of lavender and eucalyptus.
Okay.
That's nice.
It is.
I like a lemon. I like a fresh, clean. Yeah. I mean, I can get on board with the eucalyptus, but there's something about it that reminds me of like a Halls, like makes me think that I have
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's where I am. Eucalyptus reminds me of being sick. Or
same.
Because it's what I use. So if I want soap, I'm gonna go to a lavender soap. I'm gonna go to potentially like a cherry almond.
Okay.
Cherry almond.
Good old.
That's a very Jergens. That's a Jergens
Jergens.
Yes. Soap. Yeah.
That's totally.
Do you accept? I'll accept vanilla as well. Like during the winter season, like vanilla apple. Oh, I love vanilla. No. Oh, moms, you hate it.
No,
Tell us about that.
Vanilla. I want to eat it
out of an oven.
Yeah, not in my hands.
I want 2 different. I want like the lemon in the kitchen for when I wash my hands.
Yeah, okay.
And then in the bathroom, I want like the lavender or around Christmas time, something festive, something fall, like, Bath & Body Works always puts out the evergreen, something like that. But in the kitchen, I always want a lemon,
right?
Like a really fresh scent or clean water. That's that one method at Target or whatever.
Yes.
I love a method clean water.
Yeah,
I love Mrs. Myers is great. I love a Mrs. Myers as well.
That's what we have.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
And that's my blonde girl's moment for the moment. So thank you.
So if you chime in our social media, what kind of soap you like, comment and DM Caleb, and maybe if you need help, if you want his thoughts on something, let him know. It could be his blonde girl moment next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Ladies, I am a big musical theater nerd, and I, for as long as I can remember, have collected musical theater t-shirts from when I go see shows. I have a very large collection, and this is my segment where I review them in a versus format and choose a winner. So it's time for Merch Madness.
I am.
Oh my God.
Hit it.
Now,
I'm loving all these tunes though. Like
I know.
obsessed.
we love a theme song. So this is a very special, like 6 degrees of separation version of Merch Madness, because you all have I think all of you have like shared a show almost, like have done the same show, or a lot of you have done similar shows together, or maybe a part at different times.
Karen and I have really swapped.
We've swapped twice. I have talked about. I have
a 6 degrees version today. First up, we have a wedding singer shirt.
A wedding day, and I feel that's when I went in for Cara.
Yeah, Robyn replaced me when I left.
This is the most.
I have things to say about this show.
Okay.
I very graciously replaced Cara when she decided. You went off to do Peggy Sawyer, right?
Yep.
42nd Street at what was it? Walnut Street, right?
Yep.
And so this was my second Broadway show, and I was going, and I was so excited because this role covered Holly, and people were like, "You're gonna go on. You're gonna go on." And Cara said, "You're gonna go on," and and I was like, "Okay," and it was I just did the last 2 months of the show, and my first night, my debut on with Wedding Singer, they got their closing notice, which I think it was all expected, but it was still to this day, one of the best memories I have of doing a Broadway show. That group of people was amazing, and I loved. It was my first time replacing someone where I was like, I love this girl. I wish I could work with her, and we still haven't. Right? We
haven't. And then on the national tour of Camelot, I replaced. You weren't there anymore, but I did your track on the national.
You did Orange Ball Girl.
Orange Bikini.
Hilarious. Anyway, we love the Wedding Singer.
We stand the Wedding Singer, as the children say.
We
stand.
I still don't know what that means, but
we love. So this is my Wedding Singer shirt from now. I can't remember. I either bought this when I saw The Wedding Singer, or I went to Theater Circle and like got this like in the back room where I saw it, and I was like, okay, this is mine now. Thank you. I love The Wedding Singer. I remember being obsessed with it. Obsessed. I love it. One of my favorites. One of the best opening numbers of all time.
It's one of the. I will stand strong with that show. It's one of the best shows ever.
So good. So good.
Before you started.
You've never.
Here we go.
Jessica, you've never heard any of it?
No, because here's what happened. Like, I was all about my musical theater show albums, my cast recordings, until I got out of high school. And then I was working for the first couple years of my early 20s. I was still singing along to Parade and things like this. But then I got to a point where I stopped listening because I was doing so much.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I would listen to things that I thought I might be right for, which, I mean, I would think that I could have been a wedding singer. But what year was that, you guys?
2006.
Yeah.
2006. I was living in LA then, and I was trying to be in film and TV, you guys.
Oh, she was in LA. She wasn't keeping up with the theater scene.
I wasn't keeping up. I was in LA.
Anyway.
I love that shirt. I still sleep in it. I have it.
This is so good. It's so good. Such a fun shirt. Perfect for the show. Love the logo. So good. Bright colors. So fun. I wear this shirt a lot. I love it. You always get a smile when you wear this t-shirt. You know, it's always gonna bring someone a smile because they either remember seeing it or they love the thing. They love watching the Tony perform it, all of that. It's so good. This a good contender here. Now, for our second shirt here, we know
that
Jersey Boys shirt.
Which one is that one that you have, though?
So this is not my first piece of Jersey Boys merchandise. The first piece I ever bought was a gray hoodie with the distressed for here, and Jersey Boys. So that was the first one I have, but that was in middle school, and I don't have that anymore. this was definitely a theater circle find in the back room, like on sale for $10.
Yeah.
But I love Jersey Boys. My boyfriend is a Frankie, and so this is a very I hear about Jersey Boys a lot.
Who's your boyfriend?
His name is Michael Fasano. He just did it on NCL on the ship.
Is he on the big video we put all together?
He is.
We'll have to look for him.
You guys keep talking. I'll be right back. I have something for you.
Oh, surprise.
Okay. He is indeed. So this is a very classic show shirt, I would say, like the good old black logo tee, black, white letters. Give them the Jersey Boys. You know what this is. The full subtitle, by the way.
The story of Frankie Valli and the. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Twins?
This is the full subtitle.
And Jess?
Yes. So I have one that looks like, it probably is a lot like
Oh, it's very similar.
that.
font.
It's changed.
Ride the snake.
Ride the snake, pound the veal.
Insider joke?
Well, it was designed by Dominic Scaglione Jr., you guys. And if y'all know Skaggs, he is so funny. But yes, it's his like.
What's the move that he does?
But when you held it up the first time, I thought, does he have the shirt? And mind you, I have it in La Jolla. This is like a night shirt, but
Yeah, this is it's very similar. Yeah.
yeah. But
Now
this is clearly not a officially sanctioned JV.
Now, can you demonstrate what riding the snake and pounding the
Well,
veal?
Pounding the wheel.
You're gonna do like this. You ready, Cara?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
do it.
You can't see my leg. Hold on.
That's pounding the wheel. There's like a hip hop.
Yeah. Like a whole. As I'm in I told you I was in pajama bottoms.
love
like,
it.
But it's like Skaggs is. There's no one like Skaggs. I don't think on the planet. So, but
I will
Michael is cackling in the other room, so like that's really hitting a nerve.
I will say for someone who never got into the show, I fell between the cracks, which I totally got. I was like Lorraine, but then
I feel like you're a Mary.
Mary,
like,
yeah.
you're totally Mary.
y'all. This was like 7-8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now
You're
I'm
still married.
I'm like Mary's mom. I'm like old Mary. I'm like drunk Mary. I'm like, what's River Lines? Carrot.
What's more married than that?
What is it?
Wouldn't want to cramp your style.
Wouldn't wanna
like
cramp
that. Yeah. She's holding a glass too. It's perfect.
I mean, she's holding it up. Y'all, there's nothing like seeing Mary. There's nothing like seeing Mary pregnant and smoking. Like when Cara was right before her maternity leave and she had to smoke and lean back, she had a giant, her belly. She was like 22 weeks pregnant and she was smoking. I was like, this is not, this feels
not right. This is not right.
I just have to say, someone who has never been in the show, it's funny enough. It's the two shows that I've seen the most of because my loved ones are in it. It's Jersey Boys and Rock of Ages. I've seen Jersey Boys probably 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
My best friends, my loves, Katie O'Toole is in it. And also when my friends go on, I've seen Cara do Mary. I really just needed to see my best friend, Katie O'Toole, go on for Mary because I wanted to hear her say fuck.
Hear her swear.
Jersey princess, and I love her to death. She's listening to this right now. But it is still to this day one of the smartest, well-written, beautiful musicals of our time. It's
Perfect.
Really, it is a perfect musical. When those fucking horns walk out,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's all just so slick and sexy and just like
it is literally
right.
like the guys came in and they're like, here is your musical. And it's just the perfect show.
I remember seeing it the first time, and this was after like listening to the cast recording over and over again. But seeing like the national tour, and like as soon as dawn happened and the switch of the lights to face back, I started sobbing. I was like, "What in the world?" And this was like, 8th grade Elliot, just like crying at the Frankie Valli musical. It's like, what? Like, it's just so good.
Good stuff.
yeah. It was an awesome family to be a part of. Cara and I were for so long. I mean,
So
it was
many years.
years and years and years and years. I mean,
Children. I had 2 children during the run of that.
yeah.
Work.
I thought Cara when she had a babes in her. I think it was the first babes.
Probably the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cara was the first woman to be pregnant at our show. She and I were the only mothers that, until Katie, right at the end, Katie, and then Candy got pregnant. But Cara was the first one. I'll never forget it. She did the half-hour call, and she was like, your half-hour call is being said by a girl with a bun in the oven or something like that. And everyone, she had already told us, which I had figured it out, but that's fine. And she'd already told us, the girls, so we knew, but you could hear all the men come running because there were so many dads there too. And we were such a small cast, and we loved it. It was really such a family. And like, they came running down to stage management, to hug her and congratulate her. And it was so special. And it was really awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, like, I don't know if you all have been watching Making the Cut, but, a conversation can change everything. And I have to say, before we started talking and sharing stories, Wedding Singer was the clear winner of Merch Madness. But I have to say, everyone talking about Jersey Boys and their experiences has really moved me. And so the winner of this week's Merch Madness is my Jersey Boys t-shirt.
Wow. I love it. Cheers.
Love it.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. All right.
Cheers.
Caleb, you got a game for us?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up with some easy, fun questions. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
Favorite appetizer?
A charcuterie board.
Heard a lot of chips and guac.
Well, I mean, like, where are we?
Yeah, where are we? Are we
Right,
at
I mean,
Leopard Inn? Are we at?
Are we Mexican? Are we Asian?
Let's say
Are we-
pub. This is a pub, so we're
Oh.
talking like American pub.
Oh, then like a mozzarella stick.
I was gonna say mozzarella stick or a buffalo chicken.
Buffalo
wing.
wing. Buffalo wings.
Buffalo
Solid.
wing for me.
Buffalo wing.
Okay, yoga, berries, or Pilates?
Neither.
None of them.
Nothing.
Yoga.
Okay,
A
we got one.
Pilates, like SLT. Pilates
Yes.
on the big. I love SLT,
The
but
big spoon, the little spoon, and the inner
my mom has
thighs.
arthritis. She can't.
None of them. None of them.
Nothing.
Okay, best way to relax at the end of a day.
Wine.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess fine.
The bubble box. Okay.
Yes.
Boy. Okay, your first New York survival job. Did you have one?
Oh yes, I do. Wait, I do. So
Please.
my first how do I wash the bobo? So my first, I basically am like, okay, I'm moving to New York. I need a job. I've gone to one restaurant in New York that I really, really like, and I'm going to see if I can hostess there. So I put on a lace tank top, like a bustier thing, and a blazer.
You had a bustier and a lace tank top in your closet?
I do.
He
and
wanted to be BB Newworth.
And I
In
was
the
wrong.
day.
Ladies, don't you remember?
and I was 20 years old, and I put it on, and I walked down 46th Street on Restaurant Row, and I walked into Becco, and I said, "Hey, do you need a hostess?" And they were like, "Yeah, we do." And I'm like, "Great." And they were like, "Can you start tomorrow?" And I was like, "Great." And that was my first job.
Fierce.
A fucking slut. And then I
We
got it.
I love
Love
that.
Becco.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
It's
Yeah.
still my home. Billy Gallagher, the chef, he's been there for the entire time. He's still a dear love of mine. Whenever I go there, I will always go to the kitchen. I will always see him. I still know the waiters. I know the staff. It's literally when I go there, it's like home. I love that was my first, because I had just eaten there before. And I was like, I don't even think I ate there before. I was 20. What the fuck am I talking about?
But it was Becco. You're like, why not?
It's
go to
Becco. It's iconic.
I remember the tank top. It was like a spaghetti strap, and it was like I covered my boobies, but then it was like a ribbed lace bustier, and then I wore a blazer over it and jeans. And I was like, "Hi, do you need a hostess?" And I was 20, and they were like, "Yeah." And I started, and now I still walk in there, and people are like, "Oh my God, Robyn!" And it's been 18 years.
I
So
love
fun,
that.
Robyn, and it's on
love
Restaurant
that.
Row, and it's right there. Like you can. I mean, it's
Perfect.
it's all
And it's Becco.
I also love that the chef remains the same because I'm such a big cook. Like I love cooking so much, and I love that Chef Billy Gallagher is still the chef of Becco, and it is still the staples. There's a reason why that is it is the heart of Restaurant Row on 46th Street on the north side of the street, right in the middle, and it is amazing. Everybody needs to go to it.
Delicious.
If you haven't been to Becco,
Who are you?
You gotta go. You gotta
You
go.
gotta go.
New York.
green pastas.
Girl, you gotta get the burrata.
Always a burrata. Always.
It's a burrata, and you know, if you really want to go in, those pastas, the 3 unlimited, the Caesar, everything, just go.
Divine.
Go.
Every time I go there between shows, there's always, I forget what theater they're from, but there is a crew that goes there,
Surely.
like between shows, crew guys. Like it's their thing, and they sit at that table in the front window, like on the second floor. I see it every time I go there, but I can't rember.
I wonder what theater.
What theater they're from.
Yeah, it must be nearby.
Yeah,
Maybe the
it's so interesting. Because when we went, we started. Eric and I've been a few times between shows, and we always see them, and we know them, but I just can't remember which theater. I feel like the Nederlander, maybe, but I don't know. Could be wrong.
It's far.
Yeah.
Work.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Classic Mother's Day gift. The best is flowers, macaroni art, or breakfast in bed. Which one?
Breakfast in bed.
Yeah, flowers. A day at the spa. Can we choose?
I
that?
know. Like
We'll take that.
Spa. Is there a spa card in there?
Yeah.
Sign
me up for that.
Hold on.
Like spa?
The judges will accept spa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will accept a day at the spa.
If the Corona days are over, a spa.
Yes.
If we're talking Corona.
I'm not expecting anything. I'm just excited to wake up and put on a gown because I have nothing else to do but just get myself pretty and probably whore myself out on Instagram. But
I love it.
I love it. Solid day.
it's all we have.
Yeah, I mean, this is all we have. Cara and I will be on the Broadway Babysitters tomorrow doing a scavenger hunt. Ellen Marsh, another Broadway mom.
Fun.
This is a very busy weekend for the moms. I can't. It's like wild. Robyn's. I mean, we've all been doing this BCFA thing. I just think it's awesome. I want to say, like, shout out to Broadway Cares, and just for the community in general for starting to really recognize the moms and celebrate them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with Broadway Babysitters. Also, Mama's Talking Loud. I mean, come on. It's like, this is not, this should not be a hush hush thing. Like, bitches have babies. And guess what? We're the strongest motherfuckers in this business. Like, I don't mean to say it that way. I'm just saying, like, it can happen that you can have a baby and you can come back and still have a career. You can do it all, even though us mothers feel like we always want to do better on all aspects of our life. But I think it's really amazing. And it's because of these platforms like Mama's Talking Loud and everything that we're actually making it a thing. It's a thing now, guys. It's
Yeah.
and go back to Broadway.
I mean, it's like, there was a time where you couldn't have kids and keep doing it. And people, and we've even heard that said from guests like Tara Rubin and people who are still working today. It's not like this was way back in the 20s. You know what I mean? We're talking about like very recently women had to make a choice. And Cara and I just feel so strongly about the fact that we are all doing it. And now we've got so many of us, Robyn and Stephanie Block and Casey and Laura and Celia. I mean, there are so many women.
Yeah,
we
endless.
have over 300 women in our Broadway Baby Mamas group, you guys. I mean, that's not just actors. That's, musicians and composers and
crew and
everyone.
And it's just beautiful that you guys are bringing so much attention to the fact that it's just like mother again in all, not just in the arts, in all industries. Like, mothers should not be shamed. They should be fucking celebrated because
we do all the things.
We're really strong.
Hello.
Look what
we do all the things.
We're still thriving and we're still progressing and we still can do it. Even though there's always a balance, but it's so important. So I'm very grateful that you guys have you have worked so hard to bring attention to this new field, which is mothers on Broadway.
The hashtag Broadway mom.
Yeah. Broadway mom.
Well,
thanks,
we love our Broadway moms. And we cheers to you all.
Cheers.
Thank you all so much for joining us today on the Happy Hour. This was a real treat. So much fun.
Thanks for having
This
us.
was so
Um,
fun. Thank you
it's
for
so
having
fun.
us.
You mentioned the BCEFA event tomorrow, but do you want to like give people like what are the specs on that?
For the deets.
Yeah.
It's hashtag Broadway Does Mother's Day. So if you look that up, it's a Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS fundraiser for the COVID Relief Fund. And I know that like Robyn is involved, and they've got like all the our big name moms, like Laura Benanti and Celia Keenan Bolger, and like they're doing bits and sketches, and it's a variety show. And then the Broadway Baby Mamas collected videos and photos of some of the women in our community, and they will be involved in the 11 o'clock number. To give it away, but there's an 11 o'clock number that is very timely and very pretty.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
that's-
I think if you set the hashtag Broadway Does Mother's Day.
It's actually at www.broadwaydoesmothersday.com.
Great.
If you want
Great.
to find it.
So check it out.
Yep.
Hold the phone out. So this is the thing. It's like www.broadwaydoesmothersday.com, but then it's now broadway.com/Broadway Does Mother's Day, because I
Right.
just did this whole fucking interview with my son, and I made him go through it, and I edited it, and then afterwards they're like, here's a new graphic, and it's like broadway.com/
Right, because now Paul
Right.
Montrek and Broadway.com are involved, so
It's
they're
getting
backing it.
confusing. So-
Thankful, but it's a lot of work.
Either way, either www.broadwaydoesmothersday.com or
Broadway.com/Mother's Day. I'm looking at it now. /Mother's Day.
Bottom
it's-
line,
Either one will take it.
holla for Broadway celebrating
Yes.
our mothers.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
That's tomorrow, Sunday, Mother's Day at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Call your
You-
mom.
you're wearing a gown.
You can
Call
check
your
all
mom.
that. She'll be in a gown. Call your mom. Tell her thank you, and raise a glass to a lot of other moms that are killing it out there. Thank you all again so much for joining us. Where can we find all of you on social media? Robyn, where can we find you?
Robyn Hurder.
Great.
You can find her
Great.
all the time.
I am an Instagram slut. It's all I have in my life.
At Instagram salon.
I put everything out there because I just feel like this is all I have.
Why
And
not?
Like come on. It's
And
like
we love it.
I want to be Robyn Hurder on Instagram. I just can't get my
Right?
I get
Who
myself
doesn't?
together in
We
the
all
same
do.
way. But you can find Cara and I both at Mama's Talking Loud on Instagram, and Jess is a Rush on my Instagram is my personal, and our Twitter is Mama Talkin' Pod. So you can find us there and on Facebook, and you can find us everywhere.
We're everywhere. And
And
I'm
yes.
at Go ahead.
At Broadway Baby Mamas.
Broadway Baby Mamas is
Instagram
what I
as
was
well.
going to say. So that's our other, we've got that handle, Broadway Baby Mamas. I'm at Cara Cooper 111. We're everywhere. You can find us.
Switching between so many profiles.
Y'all, it is
Work.
Full-time job.
The
It's
social
a full-
yeah, it's a
media
full-time job.
is a real
Yep.
thing.
real, and people can't hate on it, man. This is
No.
our survival line right now, right?
It's what
Yeah.
we got.
Mhm.
We have to
Yeah.
embrace it and love it, and only bring positivity and
Yep.
humor and laugh and love and inspiration. Like this is our lifeline to
Yeah.
everybody else. So
Yep.
use it for the good.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
I just want to say this. Can I say this?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
We're all just doing the best we can, right? All the moms is the response to literally anything. Whether you tell me you chugged a box of wine, took a 6-hour midday nap, set up Christmas decorations in May, robbed a bank, or gave yourself bangs. Everyone, we're doing the best we can. I love that meme that's
Come on,
going
Dad.
around.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, grant yourself some grace
Yeah.
and be well.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
we're all doing everything that we can, and anything that you're doing to find joy, spark joy, smile, laugh,
Yep.
do
Yeah.
do that, because
Do all of that.
So
And you all certainly made us smile and laugh today. So thank you all
Thank you
so much. And a special shout out to Brittany, who's been
Yes,
helping us
Brit.
back in
Yes.
the back.
Brittany Big Alone.
Love it.
We all love. You can find our podcast at Equity One Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and at Equity One _ on Twitter.
Send us an email at equityonepodcast@gmail.com. And please rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah, and rate and review Mama's Talking Loud while you're there on iTunes. You can
That's
just do it one foul swoop, 5 stars. Come on.
Boom.
It'll be a Mother's Day gift.
Mm-hmm.
And tune in next time to Broadway Podcast Network Happy Hour. We'll see you then. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again.
Cheers.
Ding.